Hi guys, it's Alexa here, and I'm sitting down. We are celebrating our I Am Woman publication because we are going into International Women's Day this weekend, and we just really like to highlight the women in our community. Actually, kind of all of March. We should say all year, but we really focus on March. I have Frida from FRF Solutions Limited. She is new-ish to the community, and this is her first live stream, and she's super excited to be here and share a little bit more about who she is and what she does and why you need to connect with her. So, Frida, can you first start off? Where are you born and raised?
I'm a Mexican citizen. I was born in it's a big city. It's close to Cancun, just to kind of located in the map. It's called Merida. Very beautiful city in Mexico. I came here about in 2017, so almost 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I moved to Alberta. Originally, I started living in Alberta ever since I got to Canada and came to Kelowna 3 years ago. Yes, so I'm like you said, newish to the community still. Yes.
Why did you choose Canada?
When I was a teenager, my parents really wanted me to learn English and kind of build my character for a future professional. So I came here originally in 2015. No, not 2015. Sorry, 2007 as exchange student. I was in grade 9, so I originally came to Canada as an international student.
Okay.
I never thought, because back then I remember, like, for me the winter was shocking. So I was like, I don't think I could live in a place like this, but you never know, right? So long story short, when I finished university, I was dating a guy back then that he had a work permit, and he was like, oh, Canada is an amazing place. I had already been here. I had the language, thank God.
Yeah.
So he's like, why don't we, try it out? So I came here. Eventually, it didn't work out with my boyfriend, but I ended up staying.
Yeah.
I ended up staying. So that's how I got here. I went back to Mexico again to kind of like apply for my work permit and see if it would work. And honestly, it was fast. Back then, the immigration rules were a lot different. So I was lucky enough to secure a place here among the residents, the permanent residents. And that's how I moved to Canada. I started, as an immigrant, sometimes you have to start from the very bottom. I do have I went to university, like I said. I have a business administration degree. But of course, when you come here, it's like the licenses requirements. It's a different ballgame, right? As in Mexico. So I started from the very, very bottom, doing abatement cleaning. And then of course, working for another companies, I started doing lots of commercial and post-construction. So I did have that experience from back in Calgary. And when I got here to Kelowna 3 years ago, I started working for other companies as well, for other cleaning companies. I eventually became a manager for the company that I was working with. So it was really my amazing colleagues who showed me, the ropes and the ties, the high standards that Kelownians actually expect, especially for short-term rentals and residential. Because that's what I was missing, from my profile. So I worked a lot towards that until, one day I just felt like I had the resources and kind of like
passion.
Yeah, there was like a little voice inside of me saying like, you should go on your own, start your own thing. So yeah, that's how I got started, just out of that, little drive that I had towards, like, hey, you should be your own boss. And
so I mean, it sounds like, moving to another country, I've never actually done that. So right there is like, you're being strong, you're moving away from family, like different language, different rules, different regulations, like it's completely different. And then now you're like, oh, well, I did that, so let's start a business.
Yeah, no, it is quite a challenge, to be honest with you, because, well, working for someone else, it's way easier than just setting up your own thing, right?
You have to wear all the hats.
Yeah, exactly. You have to actually do your research, because for me it was challenging. It was tough at first because I didn't know any of the legal requirements, all of the rules, all of the insurance that I needed, and the qualifications. So at the beginning, it was a little bit
more than you thought, maybe.
Yeah, it definitely was. But I knew I also had it. I was confident I could make it. But yeah, eventually I just did my research, my homework, and one day I was like, okay, I think I have what I need.
Yeah.
So I just went down to the registry. I actually started as a sole proprietor, but another thing that started happening was like a lot of companies that I was working with, because as a sole proprietor, I started to kind of like subcontract my work out. So other cleaning companies or other cleaners would be like, hey, I need help with this and that. So I was working towards building my own clientele, but I also saw, that gap where I could actually connect with other cleaning businesses.
Okay,
and at the moment, because, when all of the Airbnbs started, well, for me, when I came to Kelowna, it was a lot that we needed to do. So a lot of my clients that own cleaning companies were like, hey, do you know people that want to work? So that's because another thing that we do is staffing solutions. And like I said, I'm Mexican. I'm part of the Latino community. So there's a lot of Latinos here in Kelowna that don't feel confident enough to go out and get work for themselves, because there is a language barrier and there's a lack of knowledge as well on how to get started. So I just started
a little bit more shy. Like, you seem like an outgoing person, you had the confidence, but not everyone has that.
I am a naturally social person. I really love to connect. That's another thing that I try to, work on. So, because you need to stand out, right? Especially if you are in an industry where there's lots of competition. So knowing that you need to stand out is a big one. But yes, just started, like kind of putting a team together because all of my employees are Mexican. They're very good at what they do, and I honestly, I couldn't do it without them. So
how big is your team right now?
Right now, there's 9 of us. Yes, 9 of us, counting my husband and I, Rod, who co-owns with me, but he's more on the operation part of the business, as I'm more on the, kind of like promoting and like PR. Exactly.
Brand ambassador.
Yes.
Networking. Connecting. So can you tell us, is there anything that stands out that is different about your cleaning business, or how does it work? Like, it sounds like you really focus on the Airbnb side of it, but do you do everything commercial?
Yes, we do everything. So it was a process. Like I said, I have a little bit of experience on all of the cleaning areas that you can get. So I feel like, being a well-rounded cleaner helped me a lot. We do offer post-construction, residential, short-term rental staffing, commercial. And right now we do a lot of residential well, we did a lot of short-term rental, but because of the regulations, yes.
Hopefully that comes back soon.
Hopefully, yes. Please.
Yes.
But right now I'm trying to, grow my clientele a little bit more on the post-construction side, because I do have a big crew, so I can take on bigger projects. Post-construction and commercial, that's like one of my goals. But like I said, you really need to figure out a way to stand out. For me, it's I really like to get to know my client and find out what their specific needs are, so I can build a program that works specifically for them, right? You also need to have a lot of like good communication with the client and your team.
And trust, because usually lots of people will just let you in your house.
Yes, totally. Well, you have to be covered for that as well. So I don't take things lightly. I like to do things how they're supposed to be done, but I focus a lot on just getting to know what the client's expectations and needs are, so I can make sure that I'm providing the consistent quality, consistent results for them, and just making sure that they feel taken care of, which is a big thing as well. I have met a lot of amazing colleagues that are A1 cleaners, very good, but I have also met some other people that they don't care a lot about their clients or what they do. I mean, they should have their own reasons, but that also creates a bit of distrust. I feel like there's certain misconceptions about cleaning, and sometimes some people can really drag our industry in
or just have some
Yes, but I try to just focus on what they need, and reliability is another big thing for me. Showing up and making sure that you're following through. Because you can get all sorts of cleaners out there. Some of them, they would be like, oh no, and they will never come back. And people, they don't like that, right?
Well, it's kind of just like that routine. Like if you have a cleaner and you, like for office space, if you didn't have your cleaner come in and you had people coming in, like a big client, and it's like a snowball effect on like people's mind. I mean, when you have a messy, I know I feel like this when my house is like messy, you don't sleep as well. I think it's a lot of a female thing, but you just feel more at ease. It's like getting, your hair done, or it's just having that, making sure that. But if you keep someone cancels on you and cancels on you and cancels on you and cancels on you, that's never good.
No, and that's another thing, like it does. I think sometimes people don't realize how important it is to be in a clean space or have your space professionally cleaned, because like you say, myself, I can't work unless everything's in place, everything's clean. I cannot concentrate. So it's not just about making your place clean and tidy. It's also about making it healthy. It really goes a long way. For some people, for some people it's huge. For some families and some business owners,
or like you have kids that are just like more sensitive.
And also like making sure that as a client, what you want is consistency, and knowing that your space is being taken care of. So that's what we are working on every day. So it's been paying off. I feel pretty happy, honestly. I think it was just the right thing to do for me to dive into the industry, even though there's lots of competition, even though there's lots of misconceptions, like I said, out there. If you really connect with the people that you are meant to, it can really be a game-changing thing for you.
Can you go back to a little bit? I do want to say, like, can you give an example or like because like I never think of like a cleaner coming in and being like, okay, like let's sit down and like what's your expectations, or like, I've hired cleaners in the past where they just tell you their rate, how many hours it's going to take, and you give them a date. So can you tell me a little bit about this like plan or?
Yeah, so first of all, you always want to, like I said, get to know the client, and because they don't need they all need different things, right? So it's about, I usually, yes, come in and have a conversation with them. I usually do walkthrough because a lot of people can be as well like, oh, hey, my cleaner used to do it in 3 hours, and then you come into a clean that's, it's not going to take you 3 hours, right? So it's always important to come in and check the space. And if you don't, you can always go by, hey, here's my hourly rate, but I actually make it like super, super. Some people have told me like, you are very, very detailed, because we work as a team, and you have to explain to them like, hey, because we have to serve multiple homes a day, right? So some people would be like, oh, 3 hours for cleaning, and then they expect 3 people to be there for 3 hours, which is actually 9 hours, So you have to explain to them. I always try to make sure, I always say like, what's your priorities? Like, what's the most important thing for you? Because some people would be like, I just need my floors and my kitchen done, or just the washrooms. Some other people are like, yes, I need the whole house. Exactly. So I whenever I come in and take a look at the place, I try to, kind of like make a plan for them and say, here's what I think it'll take. The initial cleanings, I always offer like a 20% discount just to see how long it takes me, so they can see as well, like they don't have a false expectations on like, oh, you should be faster, or it should have taken you longer. So I usually tell them like, if you want to go like do a tryout, we can do a discount for you, and then we can move on after that. But yeah, I am pretty flexible. I always ask what their budget is, because I tend to be that kind of person. I'm on the process right now of learning how to say no as well, because I'm like, whatever client I can get, I'm always like, hey, yes, I want that client for myself. But it's not always good clients that are gonna, come to you. But I always ask, what's your budget? What's your priorities? Let's sit down and have a talk.
Is it weekly? Is it
exactly?
bi-weekly?
And it's you get all sorts of requests. So we have right now weekly clients, bi-weekly, monthly. We're doing a lot of staffing for other cleaning companies. Actually, my team right now is focusing on that. So I have the girls subcontracted for post-construction. That's another thing that we're doing. We are, just like final cleaning all of the, well, not all, but as many, buildings that we can. That's going very well. But yeah, just getting to know them, asking the right questions. That's what it takes to just build that kind of like personalized program for them.
Love that. Frida, is there a woman in your life that you looked up to, or over the years that's someone you just like, they could be alive, dead, doesn't matter. Like, is there a woman that you look up to?
Yeah, most definitely my mom. I've that's like everybody says that, I think.
No,
but
no, not always.
But my mom, and I come from a family where women are very, very strong. We do have like that bone in ourselves, like that commercial entrepreneur CEO, because if I think like of my mom and my grandmother and my aunts, they all have their own projects that are striving. Of course, they're in Mexico. It's like it's a way different thing. But I grew up seeing, strong character women just trying their best every day to kind of like get out there and just make a life for themselves. To me, my biggest role model would be my mother, because I saw her do everything, and she would always succeed at whatever project she would have. So yeah, like I said, very, very strong character, a very remarkable woman. So
amazing.
yes, my mommy.
That's so nice to grow up with.
And my sister's, I was telling you before, she's also she's younger than me, but she's also following that path.
Yeah.
You know, for
more
us
entrepreneurial.
yeah, because you know, when you find out, it does get comfortable, but it's also quite, or at least for myself, it's quite empowering just to build that confidence and tell yourself like, hey, you've got this, you can be your own boss. And it's just, you know, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. But if you really work towards that, it can be quite rewarding. So yeah, she's just on the same path right now, like trying to get herself settled with her business. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for all of the women that do that, even outside my family.
Yeah. No, amazing. Well, if you guys don't know Frida, you're looking for a cleaner, you just want to connect or have more questions, connect with her. She's on social media.
Yes.
She is new to the community. She's going out there and being in networking events. And so yeah, Frida, if I missed anything, here's your chance. Did I miss anything, or did you want to say anything before we sign off?
I really enjoyed getting to know you. Thank you so much for the invitation. I was telling Alexa before starting the interview that for me this is a good, you know, achievement.
Yeah.
Kind of like putting my name out there. And for everyone that's watching that needs help with, you know, their cleaning needs, we do it all. We are super flexible. Trust me, we really care about you and what your needs are. And reliability and quality excellence is what I strive. So please, you know, reach out. Our outlets, our social media outlets, will they be posted?
We'll put it in the article.
Okay, nice. So yeah, it's FRF Solutions in Instagram, and yeah, so www.frfsolutions.com.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Frida.
I really enjoyed it.